members for joining, and we are going to get started. Now, I'm called Rogers Mukalere, and the organizer for the meetup, and I'm also a web developer. I started my career as a teacher, but I'm going towards web development. And actually, the COVID-19 pandemic came when I had gained some skills. Right now, people who had not gained skills which can enable them to work from home are crying because the offices are closed and maybe a bit tricky. Yeah, but it is really a very interesting field to do web development. And one of the things we normally face as web developers, they ask us, the client will ask you, how much will you charge me for a website? So that is the question you are going to be answering today. I also do web development, and I know basics of websites. We have a number of websites. We have, I remember I created my first website in 2009. That is around 11 years ago when I was at campus at Visitema University. The website I created was a free website. There are these free website providers online. Like some of us know about Wix, we know about WordPress.com. Those are like blogs, but they're also websites. And there are some organizations and companies which have free websites and they are using them to run. So I was at campus, I had internet, so I created a website for our new, we had a club at campus. So I was there. Just sign up your email and then you go ahead, create a few pages and all that. Now that is an online website. Then we have these other websites we create offline using HTML, and you have the websites on locally. Yeah, so creating a website has really, depending on the kind of website you're creating. We have members who code their websites from scratch using technologies like PHP, HTML, JavaScript, and all that, and they spend a lot. Actually, even me, when I went for my IT degree, I really did. We used to do those assignments and do those websites. So it takes a lot of time on the side of the developer, and there is some technical knowledge that is needed if you are to really come up with a very functional website whereby you can be able to modify it the way you want and how the client wants it. So then there are some basic costs. There are some basic costs like a domain name. That is one of the key things on a website, a domain name, and there is web hosting. So those are costs that are factored in. Those days we used also to charge for things like SSL and all that. Yeah, right now also you can be able to charge depending on the client. So if you look at a website, basic costs, a domain name is around $10 online. $10, that is around 40,000. And web hosting, depending on which web host you're using, there are very many web hosts online and local. For example, if you look at web hosts, international web hosts like GoDaddy, InMotion, you can even find a hosting plan of $3, even $2, even $1. So it's depending. So putting up, getting a domain and hosting plan, you can have a website app. For example, I've designed my website using statically using created some web pages on my computer, and I just get a domain name, I get hosting, and I upload. That will be a website. It will be up. But there are many things that are involved. There are other things like graphics. We have members here who are graphics designers. We have a lot of things. When it comes to content itself, how big is the website? How many pages are you creating? The content, formatting the content, even designing, making the website responsive. So there's a lot of work on the side of the developer, aside from the web hosting and the domain. So we want to share experiences, and we recently had a chat in the WhatsApp group where we had a discussion where some members were saying that they were not happy with people who were posting on Facebook that they can create websites at 100,000 or at 150. And they were saying that they were killing the market. So that was the thing, that there is for killing the market, because I go and I pitch to a company that I can create a website for 3 million, and this person comes and says they can create a website for 300,000. So, and the discussion was about quality, and they're saying these people who are saying 300,000 are fake people. They are killing the market. They will get this client and they will give poor quality work, something like that. But also we have seen people who have charged the companies highly in millions of shillings, and at the end of the day they provide bad work. I know a particular school, actually we are creating the website once again. The person created a school website using Wix, and he didn't even know how to customize it fully to make it well. So at the end of the day, the client has bad work, yet the client has paid heavily. So that was the discussion, and we had to look at these dynamics. So like I said later, someone whom I invited, a special someone to prepare a presentation and discuss with us all these. But I just wanted to bring in some introductory remarks. Some of us have hosted websites online. Some of us have never. Some of us just want to know and get to hear from each other. So I want to give a chance to some members. I want to give a chance to like 3 members to share their experiences. What are some of the things that you think contribute to the website cost? And in your view, what could be the range the website should be in? So in case you have something, you want to say something, please you can raise up your hand here, and then I can be able to give you a chance. And then later on, we are going to have, we are going to discuss more in along the dynamics. Okay. Okay, so I hope you can be able to, you have had my introduction. So in case I want to invite some 2-3 members to first tell us what are the factors, what are things that they think contribute to the website cost, and how do you price a client? Then also we are going to look at something to do with how do you deal with a client from starting from website proposal. Does the client pay everything at once? Do you have terms and conditions you sign off before you start? Or you just start and the client first says, first create something and I see. In case I like it, then you go and you design, then the client says, I don't want what you have designed. So we can, we are also going to look at the standard operating procedures, like how do you deal with the client, and how do you make the client to pay you, and how do you sustain the client? There are many of us, after 1 year, you have this client, you design for him a website. After 1 year, the client doesn't renew. The client is no longer interested in the website. So how do you make the client to find value from the website, so that at the end of the year, the client will be able to pay you more money? And also we have something to do with website maintenance. Does the client pay you one-off, and who does the maintenance? The client will keep telling you, add this page, add the other page, upload this post throughout the year. How do you cater for that? Do you factor that in the initial cost, or do you have a monthly website maintenance fee that you have to tell the client right from the start? Because sometimes we find ourselves, you tell a client 1 million, you design for him the site, but the rest of the year, the client wants you to do website updates for free. and also issues to do with social media marketing and management, managing the client's social media pages and all that, which is part of the website. So I just want to trigger your thoughts on this. You can be able to react on this, then we can be able to continue with the discussion. Okay, so if you want to say something, please, you go ahead and you either post a chat message here and say I want, or you raise up your hand, and we shall be able to go into that discussion. So so this particular meetup was inspired by one of the, during this COVID period, many people are marketing their website hosting services. And there was a particular company which was offering websites at 100,000 to politicians. And that is what sparked the need for this particular meetup. What do you say about these people? And yeah, what could be your reaction? What do you think is what should be the things we should factor in when we are costing a website for a client? Okay. Meanwhile, as I wait, I'm not seeing anyone showing interest to speak. There are some articles that some people have written about website hosting in Uganda, and I included links in the meetup page for this particular event. We had a number of them talking about website speed or website hosting. How much does a website cost? And I'm going to be sharing. Some of these such that we can maybe add on that as a part of the discussion. So we have here ugtechmag.com. This is one of the blogs blogging about technology, and this one article was written by Martin Tumusimi, and it was talking about the cost. How much does it take? How much does it cost to design a website in Uganda? So this particular article, he talked about the cost of designing a website in Uganda being surrounded by a lot of myths. So here he also says he was going through WhatsApp messages and landed. So people were arguing about how it's not possible to design and host a website at approximately 180K. So this is also the same thing. The same way in the group, someone has said, for me, I can design a website at 120K, at 180K. And others are saying it is not possible, it's not possible. Like you saw earlier on, I said that with even 50,000, you can have your website up. So the rest of the money is for your labor. Because the initial cost of really putting the website up is not very high. Those years in the 90s, it used to be very, very expensive, but now it is really affordable depending on how much bandwidth is and how much space you need. 100,000, 120, 150, you can have a plan. 200,000, you can have a plan to have your site hosted. So the rest of the money is for your efforts in terms of designing, graphics, content creation. Are you moving to collect this information and all that? So, so you might have seen a number of people saying that designing a website at 1,000 is possible. So the Tumusime here was saying that yeah, so this article here, you'll be able to get to it. So this was this is something also to bring us into here. So what do web developers consider when designing a personal website? So we have the blogs, we have the static personal websites, we have other factors to consider. We have SEO. SEO is making the site to be visible on search. There is a lot of effort that you need to do to make sure your site is really on the search engine. So all those things, you can be able to factor them in. And actually, when you are costing a client, even when you are costing in some substantial money, you should break down this cost. Don't just tell the client that I'm going to charge you 5 million. Tell the client I'm going to charge you 5 million and break down that 5 million. How, which part is going to domains and hosting, which part is going to design, which part is going to SEO, which part is going to graphics, which part is going to social media, which part is going to, you break down, you should be able to find out all these maintenance, security, issues to do with the email, all that. So you should be able to find out. So here, in this article also talks about the hosting space, the cPanel, the bandwidth, and then how much does it really cost to design a business website? So talked about also, so here he was saying that prices vary from different companies from 600,000 to 1.5 million, depending on the freelancer. And the number of pages, functionalities on the website. Does the client want online payments? Does the client want a membership site where people are registering? Does the client want subscriptions on the site? Which functionalities does this particular client want? So all those factors, really, we need to consider them. And hosting, that one I talked about it earlier. Hosting also in different plans. If your site is going to have a lot of visitors, you may need to get a bigger hosting plan with a lot of bandwidth. You may need to get what's called a virtual private server so that you have all the power for your site. Or you may need to get cloud hosting, or you may need, so if your site is a small site, for the start, you can have shared hosting, which is cheap. So depending on, yeah, so for example, a virtual private server could range in even 2 million shillings, 1.5 million just hosting alone, depending on like some of these blogs running online, these websites which have a lot of traffic. So you don't tell, for example, a school with a lot of students during this period, they want an e-learning platform with a lot of resources for students. And then you say that you are going to charge them 200,000 for hosting. That may not be enough for space to host all the e-learning content and the bandwidth, which is going to be the traffic the students will be putting on the website. Then if it is an e-commerce site, we know some of the tools we use for e-commerce, like WooCommerce in WordPress, they are free. WordPress is free, WooCommerce is free. So the software for designing the site is free, but it depends on your expertise to make the best out of it. And there are some members who normally think that buying a good theme, you want to design a site, so you go and look for a theme, you look for a theme which looks like exactly what you want. You install the theme, but you don't have the technical knowledge on how to customize and build the theme how you want it. So at the end of the day, you are disappointed. You have bought this theme, but the theme, after installing it, does not have the content that you saw in the preview. So we really need to know these days the trend has moved from looking for those themes which are having all the sliders, having all the widgets, having all the general design already customized and designed for you. These days, developers are moving towards getting simple themes like Astra, Generate Press. These are basic themes. Then you use page builders to build exactly what you need. Yeah, so we had a discussion actually, the previous meetup, we looked at themes and we saw that. So there is a lot, this article talks about the different tools like WordPress, which I've said is free, Joomla, these other tools, like I was saying, Wix and all these ones. All these tools can be able to do something good if you know how to use them. You don't expect the software to do for you everything. So But some of these platforms, the free plan is limited. You need to pay to be able to get something better. So, so this particular, whatever your website is summarizing things, the domain, the costs. So this article can help a beginner to get an idea about hosting a website online. Yeah, so basically that one gives us some discussion. So I want us to discuss this one. I wanted to get some reactions, first of all, from what you have said, what factors, some of the things that you consider when you are costing the client. Then there is that client and you, the agreement before you start. It's very good to have the breakdown and tell the client, I'm going to charge you 3 million because I'm going to do ABCD. For me, particularly, I have clients I charge 3 million. I have clients I charge 200,000. Because someone might be in need of a blog. Actually, in the WordPress community, there's even someone I charged only 50,000. Because this person knows how to use WordPress, he has learned some basics. He only wanted to get started. So I got for him a domain name, I got for him a hosting plan, I installed for him WordPress, put for him a theme, and he logs in and he tries to do something as I just keep helping him. So I've charged him only 150,000, but he's growing. At the end of the day, he's also going to start designing sites for other clients and he's going to be paying me. And I don't have to update for him his site. I've just helped him get started. Then there are corporate organizations whereby they don't do anything, everything is yours. So depending on the client, it doesn't, if we say that, like someone was saying that we should start a web developers association and then we set standard prices that a website should be 2 million. No one should charge less than that. Then I was saying that, no, we are in a free market economy. You cannot say that when I'm designing a website for a small NGO in my village, which wants to get some web presence to connect with the funders, the same money I charge an international school for designing their website. If I tell the other NGO that I'm going to charge you 2 million, he will not. And yet websites are for everyone. Everyone needs web presence. So if we say that we shall be having a standard price that these people who are charging less money are killing the market, it would be really an issue. Okay, but let me first, Lawrence has joined us. Lawrence, I want you to pick up from here and you share with us about these issues about web hosting and segmentation of different kinds of clients. I don't know. You pick up from there.
I thought you were checking on the responses from everyone.
They are not responding. You first go ahead.
Okay, if I could share my screen, are you able to allow me to share my screen?
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't know whether you are able now.
Okay, let me just, okay. I've managed to change the settings. Okay, so are you able to see it by any chance?
The screen, eh? Have you started the sharing?
Yeah, I've started the sharing, but
I think it's coming.
Sorry. It seems it's my computer that has too many security things.
Hey.
Yeah. Okay, so
you try again.
Basically,
You didn't need the screen.
A number of us have, while I get it set up, a number of us have done economics at HSC, or we did commerce in O-level. So we understand the concepts of demand and supply and how pricing comes from all those various angles. Okay, yeah. Okay. It's telling me I have to first escape Zoom to be able to share, to change the setting. Yeah, but let me just continue. So from demand and supply, that's where you get like an optimum price, okay? And an optimum quantity. There's a middle ground for all of that. However, when you're starting, you need to enter the market, meaning people have to trust you, and that means if you want to make any sale, you have to come in at a low price. Irregardless of your quality, you still have to come in at a low price when you're entering the market. But as you grow as a developer, you improve your skill and people start to come in, you start to increase your price because you don't want to have 10 clients whom you cannot serve. But also your needs grow and the way you handle projects changes. Probably you've started adding in project management, you have an assistant to help you to do a number of things.
Okay.
So you have a number of people maybe to help you, so your bills are also growing in number. So that means you need to increase your price, right?
Yeah.
Right. So the points you raised are very valid. And now you need to ask yourself as a developer, where am I right now and where should I put my pricing? So basing on that little economics that we all know and have come to understand. So there is a quadrant, like 4 sections, where you have quality versus price and how pricing strategies can come from that. So we have low quality and low price, which quadrant we call the economic square. You probably don't know what you're doing, you're just learning out. And so either to penetrate the market, you have to place yourself lowly, or the customers are going to give you a very low pricing for your website. I remember my first website I did, I was paid 300,000, but that was quite some money. That was in about 2000 and, sorry, that was like in 2007 for 300,000. Yeah. But as I've grown in my skill, at that time I wasn't even sure what I was doing. I gambled a lot until I finally got it out. But as I've grown over the years, I've realized there are a number of things you have to put in place. I have to plan. I don't just get out of the door and start building a website. I do mock-ups, which I share with the client, meaning I'm getting, if I have so much work, I'll get a graphics designer to help me. But if I decide to do it on my own, that means I'm going to spend more time doing it. So my price has to go up basing on those few reasons. Okay? Then we have another quadrant where you have high quality, high price. So you're just weighing your customers. You're trying to reduce those you don't want to have in your basket, and you just want to concentrate on the few to give them high quality. That means they also have to pay a high price, because at the end of the day, you'll have to pay for your rent, you have to pay for your utilities, you have to pay for internet, but you're focusing on one person. So that means they have to cater for all those bills. So depending on where you are as a developer, your pricing strategy really is going to come from those. And of course, there is another quadrant which says high price, but very low quality, meaning that you're just cheating people. That's what we call the skimming pricing. You don't really care, you just want to get the money and you run away. And we've seen a number of those. Arthur was joking about it, that he likes to have clients who have had that experience, because they're now ready to listen, because they have been burnt and they want to do better. So there are basically 4 strategies of pricing, but it all depends where you are at as a developer. Yeah, so that's my submission.
All right. Thank you very much, Lawrence, for sharing that. I was trying to look up for that quadrant and splash it up for Remember to see, but I hope they have understood that the different kinds of things. They are between quality, the graph between quality and price. So you have high price, high quality, okay, that is okay. And if you have low price and low quality, that means, like I said, maybe a beginner, and also the kind of client you're working with is the kind of client who is not that. So beginners really, because we have members in the community who are just getting started, and they also want to get started. So these are the people who learn. I also remember I used to code using HTML and PHP because I'd covered that at the university. So when I came out, my first site, I remember there is the Ghana National Busters Association. They wanted a website. So I just got my HTML and I was coding this, creating a database, connecting to the database, MySQL, submit a form. I really do a lot of coding to make sure data goes to the database, then picking it out to display it, maybe to make a table from the database. So I really took some time to really, and I was spending all the time coding, just a simple blog, a simple 5-page website with a contact page, something that you can do in WordPress in a day. So I was there, but then I got this particular organization in Luero, an NGO, and they wanted WordPress. I think they had an idea about WordPress. So I had to dive in there. And really, starting WordPress is not easy, even when you can, sometimes there's a way how WordPress seems simple, but it's not easy to get started. I don't know why, because the issues of themes and all this, and pages and posts, and really. So I learned using that particular site. So I also started from 200,000, then I keep growing now. And yeah, right now I depending on as you said, the skill level and your portfolio. As you develop sites, you have a portfolio, and it's that portfolio that you'll use to get the high-end clients for you. So if you have already gone beyond this level, you target now those kind of clients. You can't get now unless if you are doing a promotion. There are also some companies really which provide services at cheap cost because they want to get the numbers. A company can offer to design websites maybe for schools or for NGOs at maybe 300,000, and they are targeting 100 websites. Then maybe they want to earn from renewal of hosting over the years, because the company may be also offering hosting services. So there are some companies which normally advertise for freshers, fresh graduates. So they get these fresh graduates, like 10, they pay them some salary of 500,000 per month, and they want them to design like 100 websites. So because they want to get the numbers, and there's a lot that you can earn from the numbers. Yeah, so really, members should, that was what I was saying, that members should not get bothered when they see some of these people are just learning. With time, you'll find them changing, because we can get bothered if someone is offering, is really spoiling but there's no way you can enforce that and say that maybe you dictate the amount members pay. Okay, I want to open up the discussion, members. I want other members to share their experiences. Then after that, share experiences about this, about what you think about web development and pricing from a personal perspective. I want some members to be able to share here. So, no one has raised up a hand. If you are willing to speak, please, you can either raise up a hand or you can unmute yourself and start speaking.
Yes, hello.
Yes.
My personal experience, I did my first website, I think in 2018. And one of my biggest problem was people are comparing prices, just like you talked of some people who go around saying they're hosting websites at 100,000 or they are doing the entire complete package at 100,000. So I had trouble with that because personally I had studied and done practice. So I saw the work that goes in. So I initially began at doing at 500,000. So the person began, by that time I really didn't have a lot of knowledge on things to do with graphics, SEO. So I was soliciting a lot of that from other people. So when I was trying to explain, they would tell me, no, but I have someone who told me they designed their website at 200,000, at 100,000. So it was conflicting a lot. Then initially, I wanted to do it at a monthly pricing, whereby I want to charge them, say, per month, and I give a monthly report. But then it turned out to be expensive. So I decided to do a yearly plan, which has turned out good, but at times we have trouble of gauging how much, say, should they pay if they've submitted, say, an update, say a blog update or a page update, or sometimes a whole website update. So sometimes it's hard to gauge. So that's one of the biggest problem we have. I don't know how that can be dealt with. Thank you.
Okay, Emmanuel, thank you very much for sharing that. Yes, actually, I remember I was with Emmanuel in Jinja there when he had one of those clients, and we were trying to handle that. Okay, so any other person to share or to respond to that? How much do you charge per update? Do you charge per update, or you just charge a lump sum and you do all the updates and then you pay and charge later? Any other person? If you're a beginner, you can also ask a question. Don't fear. There are some members in the chat group. I'm going to be reading through some of the comments there, and we can be good to go. Any other person?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead, Ronald.
This is David.
Okay.
Okay, so can I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a beginner, and I'm still learning. So I would suggest on the pricing, instead of a beginner like me entering the market just and we start charging, giving low price and low quality. It would be nice if someone who knows, like yourself, can get the contract, do the pricing, and then you outsource to me, who's a beginner, and then I do the work, and you give me the price which you think is good for a beginner, and then you can always help me make it better, so that at the end the client gets a good quality, and I have done the work, and you have also helped me to improve. So in that way, I am earning little, but I'm also gaining knowledge. So for me, I wouldn't be cheated. Meanwhile, the client would also gain, and you also gain because you take the difference.
Okay, David, thank you very much. So you're talking about really the members who have learned, because in the WordPress community, we are interested in building the community. People joining when they don't know anything, they join with the WordPress installation, and after 2-3 years or 1 year, they are able to do some sites which can earn them something, especially during the new normal, whereby everyone needs a website. So none of us can do all websites for example, all MPs who are campaigning digital campaigns. All the MPs will need a web portal for advertisement. So, so you cannot. We should really think about the beginners and how we can help them. So, like he said that, for example, I don't know if the beginner is the one who has got the contract. He contacts you. I don't know how you were saying. Oh, he does something and then he contacts you to help. Like for example, you have experts in SEO, experts.
Yeah, the suggestion was,
yes.
the suggestion was instead of the beginner taking the contract, there are seniors who are referred to, and you know when you get the contract, you know you will give me that site, and whether you get it or I get it, you give me to do it, and you will help me do it well, and you take the difference. So
okay,
that's question.
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, I have a colleague of mine. I studied with him at campus, and for him, he did software. He did computer engineering, but he didn't know anything about. He didn't know websites really. He didn't know, but he had this marketing skill. So this person could go out there. He had a tablet, so he had some. Those days we used to use Bootstrap before we really entered into WordPress. So you could get a website designed using Bootstrap. It's responsive on mobile. The menu collapses and everything. Then he goes into this company and tells them, those days, most of the websites were the other old age websites. So he goes to the company and tells them, you see, your website is not responsive. First, we can do for you a website. He goes with this tablet, he goes with this phone, he goes with this laptop, and he convinces the CEO to give him the contract. And he also had this agreement, the website proposal, and he could talk for it. He has the website proposal, and he has how many days and everything. So he seals the deal. So he seals the deal at maybe 2 million, and then he comes to me and he's giving me 500. So for me, because I don't know how to look for clients. I'm there, I know my coding skills, I know my Bootstrap, I know my WordPress, but I'm just on my laptop. I don't know how to get out there to get to the client. So this person, he gives me the contract. I designed the site at 500, and he gets his 1.5 just because he went out there to speak. So, and you cannot say that he has cheated you because he has given you business, because you yourself, you were just there. I don't know how many of us have that zeal to go out there to look for clients, or we just sit back and look for clients on WhatsApp. So right now, it's really a period where we can be able to make money if we know how to look for clients. Maybe let us shift this discussion to strategies of getting a client. Maybe in the WhatsApp group, there are some members like there is Tillion. She was saying that she knows she can get clients, and she has her web guys who do the projects, and she gets, of course, something. So someone can be able to submit about that, about getting clients and dealing with clients. We are going to be ending in like 20 minutes because we are on a free plan. We can continue if members, at least we have got the gist of the matter. Members who have just joined, we are continuing for like 20 minutes there, so we shall be ending. At around we are going to be ending around 5:30. But members are free to leave at leisure, so we shall be ending at around 5:30. But let us talk about getting clients, the strategy for getting clients, and how do you make sure that you and the client know the terms and conditions very well. What are those terms and conditions which must be set at the beginning of this particular project? I want to get some members, please, who can be able to share on this, and then we can be able to proceed with the discussion. David Wampamba, are you there? Asa. Okay.
Yeah,
David.
I am.
Yeah. So what do you say? What do you say about this?
I've just joined. Good evening, everyone.
Yes, good evening. Okay.
I've just joined, so I'm trying to catch up with
Yeah,
you
we were
guys.
talking about now.
And I heard you say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I heard you talking about terms and conditions, something like that.
Yes.
Was it terms and conditions or was it pursuing clients?
I was talking about
Which one in particular?
you talk about
Both.
that you want.
All right. One, for the terms and conditions, first of all, I believe they're supposed to be two-sided or double-sided. Not some people can be strict with their terms, but at the same time, they may not fulfill their own terms. I've found many people who want to work with ignorant clients instead of working with clients who know something. So such people who want to work with ignorant clients are those that are not sure of the quality of service they offer. So they usually want to work with someone who doesn't have an idea so that they can always be in the driving seat. And that can be detrimental to web design businesses. So I would encourage that, first of all, before you do the terms and conditions, make sure that if you are to do them, they're supposed to be protecting you, your business, and they're supposed to be safeguarding the client's business. It's helpful, though some people might not really see it primarily as helpful, but if you safeguard the client's business, it's most likely that the client will stick with you because they will feel that as a business provider, you are empathetic. They will feel that it's not money alone that you want. That's the first thing. So to be particular on terms and conditions, I would prefer as a web designer to mention to cover what you are going to offer, what you are able to offer. Like for example, are you able to offer, like me, if I'm doing a website, by the way, I no longer do websites. Yeah, I have to, that's a disclosure. So, but as a web designer, I would say to the client that, you know what, I'm able to provide you with design research. So design research, what I mean is that if you come to me and you are this client who sells mattresses, for example, I don't want your website to look like someone else's website. So I really have to do research and get to know how other websites look and how unique can I make yours. So if I will provide design research, I would have to mention it because I know that the cost I'm going to give you will, that activity will be covered. Two, I would have to mention something about content. So I would be like, so do you have a profile about your business? The client might say yes, and another client might say no. So if a client says no, I have to disclose whether I can provide this service or if I'll recommend someone I know. There are times I've worked with Arthur, whereby a client, because I mean, I don't design websites anymore, but clients come to me. So, and they insist, they say, we've ever seen your work. We know this, you are known for this. Please find the time and work on my website. Help me work with me. I can't go anywhere else. So I would accept, but after asking someone like Arthur, do you have some space? Or maybe asking someone like Lawrence, there's this thing to be developed, Lawrence. Do you have some space? Can I link you with someone? Or can I take on the job? I'll be the one to pay you. So I have to disclose to the client, what will my service cover? Then I would also have to make sure that I know the payment modes of the client. Most Ugandan clients will tell you, and this is with all, I mean 99% of Ugandan clients, regardless whether they are in the diaspora or here, usually they want to pay in installments. So I would have to make sure that I come up first and I say, I only accept a maximum of 3 installment payments. You know, I mean, if some clients are unlucky, I tell them I don't need installments. You pay upfront, I do the work. You get? Others, I even mention a high figure to just let them go away because I have already sensed that we are not compatible. I mean, they are not clients that I'll be able to, depending on their attitude, they are not clients I'll be able to work with, maybe also depending on my own attitude. So these are the things I would have to mention. How much are you going to pay? How many installments? What is the expected turnaround time? And we would have to put them in writing. It's not going, it will begin with a verbal conversation, but it will end up with a written document, which document that, for me, I don't care whether you sign it or not, but what I care about is that you've given me an email message which says, I consent with this, I agree, let's proceed. Or you give me a WhatsApp chat which says, it's okay, let's go forward. Those are things that are not rubbable. So even if you don't put your signature to it, that is a reference that can hold you accountable or hold me accountable. The other thing that is very important to mention in the terms of terms and conditions is the, how do we call it? It's the communication. I mean, while we are in this project, how often are we going to communicate? How often am I going to communicate to you as a client? How often am I going to tell you that, you know what, now I've bought the domain, now hosting is set up, now the website has started, now I've received some articles from the writer, now I need the photos, or I've sent a photographer to your site, have you received him? Things like that. So I have to mention them. I have to let the client know that I'll be falling back and forth to you. So this is something that you are not leaving to me alone. It's not that I'm going to, even if you are constructing a house, I mean, you wouldn't leave the constructors to build and finish it, then call you that we are done. Though most clients claim that, you are the expert. I want them to be involved. Those who are not involved, I really cannot manage them because I know at the end of the day, if I delay because I got maybe stomach upset or maybe because internet never worked, they won't listen. They will think that I'm trying to lie or beat around the bush. You get. So those are some of the terms and conditions I mentioned. And the other is on training after the work. Like, I have to disclose whether I'll provide training for maintenance or not. You know, I'll have to mention such things that that after completing the website, the amount you've paid covers training, or we can discuss further. We can discuss an extra fee for training. And my training has tiers as well. I'll tell you that I have a training which is 1 day on site. On site, I mean coming at the client's premises, or remote, whereby we do the training online, like maybe via Zoom, Skype, TeamViewer, anything. Or another option, which is for the client coming where I am. You know, then it also covers things like how many representatives of the client will I allow or will be covered. Because, you know, people don't grasp information at the same rate. So if a client brings his partner that I wasn't sure whether they will be in the meeting, in the training or not, I mean, they may delay the training period. So I have to mention that this tier covers 1 to 3 client representatives. This one is 1 client representative. This one is 1 to 5. This one is 1 to 10, because it helps me prepare the content, the duration, and the costs.
Okay.
So,
David,
yeah,
I wanted to ask something.
Yeah. Yes, please.
What about, how do you deal with the requirement specification? Because there are some clients, he tells you he wants a site, he tells you a few things, you tell him, I'm going to charge you 1 million, you start working, then he keeps asking, is this more feature requirements? And yet it is not willing to add more money. So how do you deal with requirements?
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for that question. With the features, when I was designing websites, I used to have packages. I used to have packages which say business website. And that meant that a website which just talks about a business, maybe it has a landing page which lists all a brief about your services. It has a hero section. It has a navigation menu. It has a footer which has social media links and the other links like the FAQ and the like. But in such, a package will never have any e-commerce feature. So if you come to me and say, David, I was expecting to have an online shop in this, I would say, no, I showed you my packages, and my packages, this, so for example, I designed websites for tourism companies. I designed e-commerce websites, and I designed news portals like the Big I.ug and the PC Tech Mag, the newer versions. I'm the one who worked on them. So all of them do not come in the same package. So if for me, there is a business website or a business package, which is whereby an organization can come to me and say, this is our content. We just want a website that talks about us, and we expect someone to inquire from us via the website. Then I have e-commerce websites whereby the only platform I use for e-commerce is WordPress and WooCommerce. If you say we want an e-commerce website which is on OpenCart, I was out. We want a website which is on Magneto, I'm out. So before I accept the gig or the work, first is my packages, because it's my packages that determine the type of client I'm going for. Yes, there are times when a client comes and says, hey, Guy, I've seen this package, it's really interesting, but I want you to add in this. So for example, a guy comes and is like, I like the business package, but guess what? With the business package, I would like someone to register on my website. Can you add that for me? So I'll turn that into a membership website, and I'll say that I would have to add a certain fee to this one. So in other words, you demonstrate from the start that the moment you change, you request for another feature, you are going to pay extra. But like many other people, I think even you Rogers, I also fall a victim of this in the earlier stages of my career. And I messed up. That's why I changed to, I brought the packages. And in the packages, I only specified what I'm able to work on.
Okay. Yeah, that is very good. Actually, members, all developers, you should have packages. You should have packages. Say this package is for this. It has this exactly. And a client signs up for a package. And in case of any additional feature, there is additional payment. Thank you very much, David, for sharing that. Members, we have 20 minutes left. We are going to be having some, I want I'm giving a chance to 2 members. If you want to share on any of the things we have been chatting about website pricing, the cost of the website, how do you deal with clients? And also, there is this, how do you get clients? How do you get clients? That is now the other thing maybe we can talk about. How do you get clients? How do you get clients who can really pay? And yeah, your strategy of getting clients will get you the clients. That it depends on the kind of clients you get. I don't know if anyone can talk about how do you get clients. Anyone? How do you get clients?
Yeah, David here.
Okay.
So let me also contribute a little bit about that. My way might not be the way of another person. So please don't consider that what I'm saying is absolutely or ultimately right. But it could be some of the methodologies I've used to achieve what I achieved. So one way that I used to get clients, still I get clients, like I've told you that people come to me and I turn them down, or I just request another person to work on them. Of course, if I know how that person, does the work. So one, the way I get clients is, first of all, is preparing myself, making sure that I have the necessary tools. For example, the internet, a working computer, and knowing what people expect. That's the first thing. The second thing is putting up a profile somewhere, even if it's offline or online. If you put up a profile and you mention 1 or 2 or all of the projects you've done, chances are you attract somebody, because there are many people that come to us through online. So for example, I used to develop websites as an individual, then I created a company. When we created a company, we created a website. When we created a website, we also created other pages on Facebook, on Uganda Yellow Pages, and other directories, so on and so forth. Yeah, now, we saw happen that some people were abroad, like in the UK, others in the US, and you know that those people usually don't have an immediate person to run to ask that, do you know anybody who does websites? They usually just run to internet and search Google. Yes. So it so happened that we used to get people who told us that, I landed on your business through Google Places. Is it Google Places?
Google
Business. Yeah. So others could be like, I landed on it via Uganda Yellow Pages. Others will be like, for me, I saw conversation about you through Facebook, and the person who wrote about you is somebody I trust, so that's why I came. That's another way of getting clients. The other way of getting clients is blogging. Like, write about your experiences in this field. You don't have to be a total expert or an author, but if you can write how you solved something, if you can write how you discovered or helped someone, if you can write how a certain platform works, if you can write about the conferences you've attended and the reason, like if the conferences are really about this field, like the web design, it so happens that maybe the attendees of the conferences were looking for a web designer, but they didn't make a choice while they were at the conference. But now, some months after the conference, they are looking for a web designer, and they learn on maybe on your blog, maybe, anyhow, from anywhere. The other that I used to do was having flyers, printed flyers, which I no longer believe in, but I used to have when we made a company, we made a lot of flyers and we distributed them in many schools, churches, hotels, tourism, how are they called? Those lodges where tourists sleep, you know. So, I mean, as much as you know you are an expert, if you do not intentionally indicate that you are an expert and you are willing to offer your help, people won't come to you. You know, so you must show that I'm confident, I'm putting my word out there that I need to help you, I need to serve you, then people will come. Yeah, those are the several ways I get clients.
Thank you very much. Actually, I want to just react on two things. One, about the blogging. Blogging really works. And not only for websites, but for anything. Because personally, I've got some money during this COVID because of Zoom. When Zoom was starting there, I used to offer defend it. And then I wrote an article about it on the ICT Teachers website. And many schools which have been wanting Zoom, they have been contacting me. Actually, I'm having a school I'm going to do training, Zoom training, and I'm charging them some good money for training their staff on Zoom. How did they know? Because they know that I know, because I've been blogging about it. And also there's a blog I wrote about EasyPay mobile money. I wrote it on my website some time back. I've got very many people who wanted to do that. They saw my blog, but they couldn't really implement it on their own. So I come in and I implement for them and I get something. So blogging is really good to expose your knowledge. Right now, there are some members here who do YouTube. Is it called vlogging? I don't know. So they make YouTube tutorials and you ask yourself, how are they earning? How are they benefiting, making tutorials to teach other people? But they get a lot of people because someone watches that tutorial and wants to know more. And he wants the site, he will just contact you because he knows you are an expert in that field. So sharing knowledge, blogging, making YouTube videos is really great. And we talked about the flyer issue, and normally, people who normally use flyers, there are these, we talked about the people who cheat people, who, I'm not saying that they cheat, flyer people cheat, but like there are these posters you find on an electricity pole, and on that transformer in town, and they are saying website 250K website. They are using paper. They want to appeal to the passers-by, and these people here, that is one of the quickest way someone will use, because they can't blog, he doesn't have a portfolio really, and some of these don't even have their own personal sites. So I actually have a colleague who put some of those things in down. He put it like a ream of papers, and we put the whole street, and actually KCCA, they called him as if they wanted the site, and they go to him, and they charged him for polluting the environment, because you make all these posters and you throw them around, that is threatening environment, paper. Yeah, so as web developers, we should opt for the smart ways. Create a website, your own website. I've seen a number of good developers, but their own websites are poor. Someone has like a simple blog and he never added any touch to it. And yeah, your website should be really a good one. Add there your portfolio. Put there your best sites that you have worked on. Feature them on your blog. Put it on your business card. Whenever we meet, we share these business cards. So it can really help. But for me, it has been more about community and training, teaching other people. We have been having WordCamps, and through WordCamps, I've been trying to make sure that every WordCamp I'm a speaker. So by participating in a WordCamp and I'm a speaker, I'm looked at as a person who knows. And you sit on that panel, Q&A panel, and hey, you are like the guy who knows. So after that, you find people contacting you because they know that you are the problem. So for me, I've been taking use of the community, the ICTS community, WordPress community, and all this to be part of it and be able to share. And with that, you get referrals. One of the best things, but the challenge would be that if you get clients and then you don't retain them, you don't serve them well, the clients will not be satisfied, so they will not recommend. So one of the best things to do to get clients is recommendations. Make sure that the client you get, you serve that person well, and so that person can link you to other. There is this thing of websites which are a bit cheap and all that. We had what we call website weekend. It was organized by Patience Nekesa. She organized the website weekend, and she was saying we are going to make sites for free for people. So I went there, and I went with my laptop, and I got this person. They gave me a design for him a free site. He had a company called Cesar Uganda. I designed for him the site for free. And after that event, I even continued because other people after that day they closed. I continued. He used to come to Makerere until his site was complete. And he once again would give me some 20 here and there, but the site was almost free. But after that, he went into another organization, a big organization called Messi Holdings, and he recommended me, and I got a deal of some good money. So the money the effort I used to design to offer this free service has been paid back by the referral that I did. So just like when it comes to jobs, if you are a fresh graduate, sometimes they advise you to offer internship. Internship is normally free, intern jobs. You go and you are being just given lunch, but you are there to make the connections. At the end of the day, you get the experience, and after that, you get links to other opportunities. So members, that is what we have been sharing. If there's no one else who has any question, thank you, Asa, for sharing the briefs there. Members who just joined towards the end, the main discussion for today has been about website pricing. And actually, Lawrence shared something like this. I'm sharing this to summarize the discussion. Lawrence shared this about pricing strategies and was saying this is in the economics about pricing. So there is the first quadrant about low quality, low price. That is the economy. That is the beginners who are not sure of themselves, so they don't offer good quality, and so they will offer. They will ask for little money. So they are getting there. Then we have the penetration pricing, where you charge little, but you make good work. You give good work. You are trying to penetrate. Like I was giving an example of the client I offered a free website. I made sure I give him a very good website, but he was not giving me money. But I used that to get a relationship, and so after that I got a referral. So penetration, even companies normally do this, even in business. You find a company offering a new product like a soda, and they're offering the soda cheaply, even freely, even what? Because they want the clients to know their soda, to know how the soda tastes. So good quality soda, low price. Then after that, if the market has caught up, you can now increase the price accordingly. Then we have the skimming pricing, where you are these people who offer low quality at a high price. These are the cheaters. These are the cheaters. If we were to fight people, these would be the ones who would fight. And these people die a natural death because they don't get referrals, and they will just cheat a few people before they are exposed, before they can no longer, they don't have anything else to offer. So I also don't even bother about them, because I just know that these people, they don't know what they're doing. And yeah, so at the end of the day, it's not sustainable. Then finally, there is high pricing, high price. Like David was saying here, that there are some clients, if he sees the attitude of the client, and the client maybe is going to be problematic, doesn't understand what he wants, he can just tell him, no, I need 10 million, my work for 10 million. If the client doesn't have, he goes, because you really, you don't have the time. Your time is not worth that meager money and that kind of client. So this is the different types of pricing. And we also talked about how to get a client. We also talked about the terms and conditions, and we said each web developer should have packages of the different levels of sites you can do. And then after that, you offer those packages to your clients. Okay, so members, basically that is what we have talked about today. We are going to be ending in 5 minutes. We are going to be ending this particular meetup at exactly 5:30. And members who have been posting on the group, basically, I just want to thank everyone. I don't know if there's anyone here. Someone was asking me to remove my mask. I have removed it. We are in COVID, so we have to get adapted to using masks. Okay, I don't know if there's anyone else who wants to say any final remark. Any final remark? Asa, are you there? Asa?
Hello, yes, I'm here.
Yeah, just give us any final remark. I always want.
Guys, thank you for coming in and thank you for being here. Really appreciate all of those that have been sharing. It's really been something to have on, and I've been just in the background hearing what everybody has to contribute. Well, I have also my side how I get clients, but I won't go through everything because it has been talked about. I don't do marketing, but most times they're just referrals and that's it. I do work for a client and then they're like, I know a guy. So that's how I've always got business. And doing quality top-notch work is really something you can stand out with, because I know a few people that I've shared with just 2 links to my portfolio, and then they're like, no, we can go with you. But yet they've been scrutinizing other 10 people, developers, on just sending huge portfolios of work. So it's about work ethics to me. And if a client can't afford me and they can make me really do bad work because they're not offering the exact things that I need, I can let them go till the time they can appreciate my kind of work. If they appreciate my kind of work and then appreciate the amount that I've told them to pay, then we can work together. But if a client makes me to do substandard work, then I don't go for that. And that's how I've maintained it. That's how I've got people I've worked with, and it's really been great. So thank you guys for coming in, and that's my part in a nutshell.
Asa, yeah. Actually, that issue of a client, if a client just gives you a business card, he wants a site, he wants it in a week, and he doesn't have photos, he doesn't have a logo, he doesn't even use information for the site. I don't know how do you handle that kind of client, because the client doesn't have content and wants a site. So
I can do a number of things, but I realize the more I do things is the more I break myself. So I divided my work with working with content creators. I do graphics myself as well, but content creators are key because they really make the work stand out. And if they have no photos, I can let them know that this is a budget for a photo shoot that we shall need for the website. So if you can meet the budget for a photo shoot and then I add in the content creator, then we can work. If you expect me to do all that kind of work at the amount you've given me, it means either way that I will do something that's really substantial, or I will start stealing some people's content, which is really unethical. And people can still sue you for that. So that's how I work it.
Okay. Thank you very much. Actually, stealing content is very common in tourism sites. Someone wants a tourism photo, and you just get from other tourism sites their images, and you make a tourism photo. Thank you very much for sharing. If there is no one else, okay. I want to thank you, members, for coming, and I want to wish everyone good luck during this period of COVID. Make sure you do some work, pull out your portfolio. It is our time as web developers during this season, during the political season. Just make some portfolios, make some platforms, and you can be able to earn. And you'll even be surprised that you'll want to leave the job. For me, I was in class and I had to give up with being in the class all the time because I saw potential this side. So thank you members for coming, and members who are new here, we have a WordPress community. You search for WordPress community Uganda on Google, you'll find our website, and you can be able to join there. If you don't have a platform for blogging, you can blog through that. We talked about blogging as one of the ways to market yourself. You can blog through that and you can get noticed. Thank you very much, and have a nice evening. Bye. Yeah.